But it's really good to see you. Well, thanks, Rad. Right, we're in business. Now, I've given up on the webcam, so I'm coming to you by the power of an iPhone 13, one that I use for my filming. We'll see how that goes. But apparently the camera on it is as good as most webcams, so that's okay. And this is that little headset I was just telling you about. It's just a cheap call center one, Bluetooth and everything. It's okay as long as the battery doesn't go flat. And I've got some purple lights. Look at me trying to be a proper YouTuber. And that news hot off the press. Yeah, Mark did appear with some wine. I'll finish my not gin first, though, shall I? You don't want me drunk during a live, do you? Right, really good to see you all. We've got everybody's here. Well, most people. This is awesome. Oh, little purple hearts. Thank you. I like the purple hearts. Yeah, Mark's a good one, isn't he? Right, if I'm not sounding or looking quite myself, I'm going down with an absolute stinking cold, which is really bad timing because I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 3-day stint at the museum coming up. So I'm hoping I've dosed myself up with tablets and I'm going to try pickling myself with wine and we'll hope it works. So, oh, you like my lights then? It needs to be darker in the room, I think, for that to get that, like the YouTube gurus all put these fancy lights. Oh, I don't know. I bought loads of lights, and would you believe it's the cheap ones that look the best? Anyway, right. I have a confession as well. Some of you, I've had that cold for a month. Oh, sorry, Rad. Ah, it's a bugger, isn't it? I swore. I hope you get better soon. Actually, I'm blaming a party I went to Saturday night. I didn't do a live because I was going out to a party. It's a load of old folks and the people that from the top of their close. Would you believe I'm one of the younger ones nowadays? And they were having an 80-something birthday party, and we think we've all caught it from there because their neighbours have got it as well. Oh yes, the confession. The confession is the questions that some of you posted questions below the information about this live, and they've disappeared. I'm sure some of you posted questions for me, and I've had a look at the ones that I've replied to. Some of them I did actually reply, but then said I'll cover that again in the live. And anyway, they've gone. Other than the one where somebody asked me what time zone they were in, I found that one. So if you had any particular questions, I'm going to need you to chuck them in chat again. Well, I'm glad this is all working because, as I said, I've got some software for my phone which I've hardwired in to cut down the lag and stop the battery going flat. But I couldn't get the big microphone to work that I normally use with my phone. So we've got my headset, and I hope this battery doesn't go flat. And I'm trying to work out what the hell I'm doing with StreamYard. Don't pass it on to the postman. Good point, Paul. He's a very nice, our postman. I frightened him to death today. I think he'd forgotten we'd got CCTV. So he was just about to come to the door, and he's there with like a parcel of goodies for me, and I sort of kind of jumped at him. That I took him by surprise. All right. Oh yes, can you use resin molds for eco pours? Everybody's using the term eco pours, meaning eco casting powders generically. I use mine for Eco Pour, which is an actual brand name, and yes, I can. However, having said that, I've tried them also with Jesmonite, Buonite, and Aquacast, and they were all fine. But you'll have to try them with your own brands if you're not using actual Eco Pour. That's the only one I can really speak for 100% because that's the one I use all the time nowadays. But yeah, you should be able to for most of the different brands, I suppose. I'm your postman watching the live. Oh, hello. Are you? Hello, Paul. I didn't, Paul, I didn't know that was your name. Did I frighten you? That's really funny. I can't believe you're watching. Have you found my other channels yet? Why did I not know your name was Paul? Had you forgotten that I'd got a CCTV? So yes, anyway, back to the molds. No problem whatsoever, as far as I know. With actual EcoPore, definitely not. The other brands of similar sort of things, probably, yeah. Were there any other questions that I missed? Only a bit. I suppose you're used to it, aren't you, Paul? Were there any other questions that I managed to lose in the process? Yeah, he might be. Yeah. He's going to ask in a minute, have you had that headset on all day? Because I had got this on the door as well. Yes is probably the answer. It keeps my hair out of the way. Whether the resin Right. Suda's asking as to whether resin works could be covered in with bigger boxes for curing and protecting from the dust. Yeah, I know a lot of people cover their resin while it's curing. They'll put like a cover of some sort over, be it a box or a Tupperware tub, or those net things that you can put over to stop bugs getting on your salad in the summer, that sort of thing. So I know a lot of people put things over them, and it's a good idea. I never think to be honest, unless I'm outdoors making. But it probably is a good idea. In fact, the heat mat from which one was it? Stoyo comes with a lovely little tent to go over it, specifically for that. It'll keep the warmth in because the resin generates heat on its own as well, and it'll speed up your curing a little bit. So it's not a bad idea actually. Although, Suda, where you are, I'd imagine it's pretty warm anyway, so that wouldn't be the issue, would it? It would be more for the dust particles and so on. So yeah, it makes sense. Oh, I'm going to sneeze in a minute. You'll have to forgive me if I sneeze. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Cardboard can carry dust, so just make sure it's not basically. But I have seen people use cardboard boxes. Yeah, the tent is really good, Diane. I use it quite a lot, even if I'm not using the heat mat. I must admit, I don't use the heat mat as much lately, even though it's been quite cool up here in my craft room. And that's simply because I've been chucking everything in the curing machine, because it's that protects it at the same time, and you kind of get a more gentle heat all round as well, which is good. Whereas a heat mat, it's all the heat from underneath. My heat mats are adjustable as well. I like to turn them right down if I do use one, rather than put it on full heat. Totes and bins trap off gas. Lost me there. You've lost me there, Rad. Not sorry, have you lost me there? I've got my brains full of cold. I'm all fuddled. Are there any more questions that I lost? Those two ring a bell. I can't think of anything else. There was a lady asking me what time zone she was in. Oh, okay, Rad. I think I sorted her out, so I hope she can make it too. She's in the middle of America somewhere. Right. So on my notes, I made some notes. Is that organised of me? It's quite good for me, isn't it? So, point number 1, I'm poorly. Sorry. Point number 2, I can't find the questions. Grr. I actually wrote grr. Anyway, next one. News on the mould making frame. I have some exciting news. You know, those of you who are quite excited about the half-size pieces for the mould making frames, I have a bag full here. I'm going to send Wendy one to play with over at Toonpish, a set of 4, and I have enough for another 3 sets there. I think they're going to sell out really quick. But so if you wanted one and you go on there and you see it's sold out, don't panic. Finn will be frantically producing more soon. So we're well underway with those, so that's good. The 3D printed organisers. You mean the ones I've got up on my clipboards? It was some behind. Hang on, it's back to front, isn't it? There's some there. Look. Woohoo! Oh, I can't do everything, but I need to mirror this screen. There, those things. Yes, they're really good. I haven't broken one yet, so they're pretty strong. Oh, if I could have any more, which would I have? I have a feeling it might be coming my way already. Yeah, the bottle ones. They're brilliant, Rad. Honestly, I thoroughly recommend them. Any mould, yes. Into Resin, do a tray mould, and it's over £100. It's big, and it's all water lilies and things like that. And I have a feeling they might be sending me one. She's just ridiculously exciting. So if it is, I should be showing everybody, and they'll be going, great, but I can't possibly have one of those. So I shall feel like the most lucky girl on the planet if it does arrive. Oh, my nose. My nose itchy so much. I tried marble powders and resin mixes together. I don't actually know what marble powders are, Suda. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what they are. Sounds interesting, though. I mean, normally when I do marbling, I use like a lot of white and then thread some other colours through it and hope it goes marbly. But there's actual marble powders. Thanks for that, Suda. I'll if you get a minute, could you ask him a bit more and see if you can find a link or some info on it? Because I'll gladly give it a try. Sounds interesting. Where else have we got? Oh yes, there were some other bits I was going to fill you in on as well. The little piggy mould, that'll be in store as well soon. And I wanted to ask you a question. Anybody like hippos? Because I have been messing with this. This is a bought thing, but I've been modifying. I filled in between his legs, I've varnished, I've sanded bits off. Anyway, I've got a modified version and I was going to make moulds of this little hippo. Are you, do you think that's something worth putting in the shop too? Yes? Okay, we'll have hippos. We'll have pigs and hippos, and frogs. All the random stuff from me. Yeah, that was another thing on my list. I wanted to remind you about the Easter collaboration. Those of you who've got YouTube channels or are just about to start one or whatever, don't forget by the, did I say the 27th or the 28th? Later this month anyway, before Easter. I need the link to whichever video you want me to link up for the big playlist because I'm running the Easter collaboration on Claire's behalf. Budgie. Budgies. Good, couldn't I? That's a good idea, Patricia. Jelly. Best and worst experience with resin. Worst experience you probably have seen on film, Jelly. 28. Thank you. It's a good job you know what I'm doing. Sugar glider. Oh, go on. Yes, have a go, Julia. Where was I? Oh yes, best and worst experience with resin. I don't know, best experience because I've had a lot of really good experiences with resin lately. Probably when I've discovered that I'm not allergic to all of them. There was just one brand that made me react really badly, despite having all the PPE in the world. I reacted horrendously badly to one brand, a big mainstream brand as well. I was gutted. So that reaction, which I'm sure you'll have seen in amongst my shorts, my short videos, that was the worst. And I'm still on mega antihistamines because it's what it's done is if you get an allergy triggered to one thing, it can sometimes trigger a load of other things, and we can't work out what the hell else I'm allergic to. But the antihistamines, fine. Look, eyes not swollen, bit blurry like they always are, but not swollen, so that's good. Yeah, it was really painful, Michelle. And you saw it when I filmed it, when I'd actually it had gone down because a few hours before that I couldn't even open my eyes to see what I was doing to film, and it's happened a few times since. So anyway, the heart inlay. Oh yes, of course, Linda. I've forgotten about that. I haven't, to be fair. We've had a hectic few weeks. We've had Mark's mum very seriously ill and all sorts going on. So I haven't really got any further with it. So bear with me, and don't let me forget, Linda. I will get on the case with that for you. The poor one's easy. The heart one, I need to make an original for. The poor one, I've already got an original. So there we are. What else we got? Chevy van mold. Yay! That's a good idea, John. Tricks with doing vehicles. I've got one kicking around. I've usually got little cars somewhere. I know somewhere in here there's a very small Fiat 500. The trick is filling in the holes. If you can get an original model, obviously you can't then sell the mold because there's so many copyright issues with particularly vehicle brands. It's, you know, they're protecting their brands. It's fair enough. But if you're making one just for yourself, try and find an original die-cast model that hasn't got open windows, because it's a real pig to try and fill the windows in. And then also you need to get something like an air dry clay or something like that behind the wheels and underneath. You see, like I've done with the hippo, how I filled in between his legs, because obviously that's got to be your base. So it's filling in the behind the wheels and the windows and underneath the wheels. That's the problem with making car molds. Did you all see my message earlier, by the way? Boo and Nicole, who made the classic car molds that I got so excited about, they do a Beetle as well now. Did I find the JPEG? No, Deanna, I'm going to have to create it again. It's actually in my Cricut in Design Space, and you can't download stuff back from Design Space, so I'm going to make it again at some point. Yeah, the Beetles, it looks really nice. You can have it as a candle mold or as a plant pot mold. Now, the candle molds are the ones that I use just as solid because you just don't poke the hole through the top where the wick goes. So there we are. Oh, hi, Roy. Good to see you. Don't worry, we're going to be here for a while. Which reminds me tonight, because I have got a video premiering. It's only a short one. It's one that people had asked me to do. I'd had a few inquiries about a particular technique, and that's premiering in about 45 minutes. So we will be finishing in about half an hour. Keep it a little bit shorter tonight. Hey, Deb. Don't worry. There's a couple of other things I was going to tell you about. Yeah, people have asked about my other channels, like the random stuff channel. Remember when my channel went down, I kind of panicked and started using that other channel a little bit. And I've been putting things like terrariums and fish tanks and fudge and various other things on that channel. That is still there, and I am just randomly going to post the odd thing on it. So if anybody's wondering what's happened, no, it hasn't died a death. It's still there. I just don't take it as seriously as I do this one. The other channel I've started up was the, and again, people kept asking me, what's it like being a newbie YouTuber in your late 50s? Well, that's a good question. So I went on YouTube and had a look at people who were saying, well, I've started YouTube and this is my first years, and they're all like in their 20s. And I thought, I see why people are asking now. So I'm going to put some stuff on that on the other channel as well. That's the one that's just called, what did I call that one? Tracey Lippett, Life of an Over 50 YouTuber or an older YouTuber, something like that. There's not much on there yet, but that is something that I will just randomly throw a bit on there from time to time. Any questions you want me to pick up, or shall I show you some of the new goodies I've got? Going to look at goodies. Oh, that's a drop of good. Why is it in a Stella glass? Do you want to look at the goodies I've got? I've shown you the frames. You're going to flip at these. You really are. Okay, look like really nice chameleon powders. Oh, nice one, Ruby. I started at 55. I'm 57 in April. These look like really nice chameleon powders, but guess what? They're cat's eye. So you know how you get cat's eye nail varnish and you paint it on and you get the magnet? Well, this is actually the pigment that they put in that nail varnish. So you can put it actually in your resin makes. That's going to be good, isn't it? It's from Into Resin. Great, they keep sending me stuff. It's been awesome. And then, where's the others gone? Oh, here they are. These, which just look like nice little pots of glitter. Guess what? They don't sink. Apparently. I'll test them. They look like all whitey sort of interference type ones. But apparently it's glitter that doesn't sink. Now I know, thanks to Dan, we've got a way of stopping glitter from sinking, haven't we? Just do the Elmer's glue trick, or there's a multitude of different things you can do, but the Elmer's glue trick seems to be the best. But these are actual glitters that don't sink. Yes. Who just said what, it comes in powder form? Rad, it does. Honestly, I saw it on one of their adverts and I was, what? So I was like, email like frantically. I said, absolutely, that is so up my street. I need that. And yeah, it's just arrived. Because it takes a little while to come, because I think it's all posted over from China or something. But yeah, look at the colour range too. I've got so many things that I need to catch up on. And Nicole's sending me a load of more moulds as well, and I still haven't done the things with the inlays I got from Wendy. Some of this I actually bought. Not all of it's been given to me. I'm just so up to my neck in it. I really am. Oh, more moulds as well. Now these are bought, but apparently those are tiny little star signs in there. That the actual, constellations that go with star signs. And you might know that I do some bits for Be More Witch, because she works in the charities shops I supply, and she does like tarot card reading and all sorts of things like that, and she's getting into astrology at the moment, so those will be for her. And then I found this on Temu. Dragons. Oops. I really must mirror this camera. Dragons. So I must get round to that as well. New stuff. Sanding just makes your boobs jiggle like crap. Deb, I'm worried. Maybe try a sports bra. Cat's eye gel in nail gel form. It takes a bit of practice. I've done a lot of nail art over the years. Yes, unsinkable glitter, apparently. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, so it does take a bit of practice. Do you like my nails at the moment, by the way? Oh, you can't really see it in the camera. They totally colour flip. This was thanks to Hollywood Nails in Redditch. They are real at the moment, and they just colour flip. This isn't doing them justice. Brows aren't fun. No, I must admit, I don't bother half the time. It's not nice. Is that too much information? Oh, you've got the dragons as well, Deanna. Lovely. And Dragon's Cave. No, yeah, you should definitely have that. I'll just grab anything that's got dragons on it. Where did I put? This craft room is still such a bloody mess. I've put down some things to demold somewhere. Oh, there they are. Bear with me. I don't know if these would be dry. I put them on top of the radiator. I'd forgotten I'd done that. Oh, you're getting a Delphine, you're getting a proper studio. Nice. Now, are these cured yet? Oh, they might be a bit bendy, but let's just go for it. Right, these are from Into Resin. This is completely out of season. But I'm working my way through all their handmade crystal molds, and they've got these snowflake ones. I should leave these till morning, really. But I thought if they're pretty much cured, we can demold them together. She says, hoping I don't wreck it now. Yeah, it's well bendy. Should have gloves on, shouldn't I? Don't tell the people who troll me about it. Oh my god. Look at that. Yeah, let's see if I can make it focus. I just put a little bit of indigo in it. Oh, I say, I'm dying to see what that looks like in daylight. I have filmed these, so what I shall do is I shall confess to having. You can really see the sparkle. I shall confess to having opened them on this live. I shan't pretend. I shan't put them back in the mould and pretend. Oh, you sold your car for it, Delphine. So that's the problem I have, is that I've got too many cars, and I don't like selling them. It's a good job they're very little. There's another one coming out here. Hang on. I'm just going to go crazy at Christmas, aren't I? It's just that while they were offering, I thought, grab more. You know, as you do. Somebody said, do you want some mould? And they say, which ones would you like? I thought, I wonder how many I can ask for. So I sent a list. I got cheeky and I sent a list and said, any of the above. Oh, this one's ever so bendy. It's because it's thin. Really bendy, look. Floppy bendy. I have to make a little bowl with it, haven't I? But again, look at that sparkle. Isn't that gorgeous? Should have just done it with clear, shouldn't I, really? There's like a frosted bit. You see the frosted bit? Looks like bubbles in the end of these bits. It's been gorgeous, isn't it? Let's put them on something flat. Stock up, yes, definitely. They are gorgeous molds. Too many cars. Oh yeah, air fryers will dehydrate. Too many cars. Well, no, I've got 3. They're all very small. No, this is an elephant. Apparently. Let's do the silly noises. Step 2 in. Yeah, a lot of people have said that actually a dehydrator is that these resin curers are basically dehydrators. Now I got a resin curer. Oh, it's a whale, not an elephant. I got the resin curer because I just don't do cooking, so I won't have anything that has any sort of cooking connotation. There's an elephant coming. Now I've got some bubbles in his tail, but look at this little guy. Little whale. Isn't he lovely? I think I did the colour a bit too dark to really get the effect of the sparkle. And I definitely got some bubbles under his tail there. So I was doing this in a hurry just to see what they liked. I just chucked basically. Where are we? Oh, it's that way, isn't it? Let's mirror this camera. Yeah, I just chucked some resin in so we could see what they came out like. Look, he's all faceted and anyway, thought you'd like to see that. Use the dehydrator for taller moulds that don't fit in the curing machine. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually, Ruby. Yeah. I was going to use. I've got one of those cabinets for. Yes, I'm going to knock it over in a minute. You're quite right. Worrying about my wine. I've got one. They sent Resiners. Is it Resiners? Yeah. Sent me one of those cabinets for curing tumblers in, and I plugged it in and it went bang. Wrong travel adapter apparently. Because what I was going to do was use that for drying bigger stuff in. But anyway, they're sending me another one once they've got UK power adapters apparently. We all like the whale. It is adorable, isn't it? Right, have I missed any questions? Yeah, I know. It was a bit of a no-no. She went out to email them and confess. It's expensive. And to post it all the way from wherever resiners are to me. But some of my moulds, Deb, are this sort of size. So I don't think they'd fit in any of the curing machines. I think one of them I've got is actually too big even for that chamber, which is ridiculous. Wasp's nest. No, but they're amazing. We demolished our conservatory. Well, Mark demolished our conservatory. When we moved into this house, it was one of those nice area, shame about the house things when we moved here 23 years ago. 24 years ago? 24 years ago, actually. 24 years ago in 2 days. How's that? The conservatory and a number of other bits of the house were absolute disaster area. The conservatory was a load of double glazed units stuck together with plywood. Anyway, the floor started sinking. Turned out, who's what behind me? There's nobody behind me. Don't scare me, Jelly. Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the floor started sinking. We got Mark's motorbike. He got an injury at the time, parked in it, started sinking. So we got the floor up and realised that it had gone soggy and it had got its own ecosystem living in it. There's worms, ants, and all sorts of things. Anyway, one morning he got fed up of it and pushed the and just basically pushed the whole thing over. It just collapsed. He sort of gave it a shove and a wallop, and the whole thing collapsed. And in one wall was a wasp's nest. And because it had been between the cavity of the two pieces of plywood, the nest was only like that thick. So you've got like this fantastic cross section. There was no outer case. The wasps had all long since moved out. He'd been spraying Lynx Africa in there. Got rid of them far quicker than the actual wasp killer did. They didn't like it. So we ended up with this fantastic, but it all just fell apart when we got it out, because that would have been amazing. We could put that into a tray or something. Dandelions properly in resin. Oh, Suda, do you mean like so they're all still fluffed out? I've no idea. I've not tried that yet, but I've seen people do it, so I'm going to try it this summer. Oh, the rest of the ducks. Well, I've got about 185 left. So I don't know. Somebody suggested that if they, I don't know what sort of wasps they were, Deb. They just look like our common wasps. So to me, but I don't know much about wasps. What was I saying? Where was I? Oh, the ducks. Yes, somebody suggested I get a rubber duck mold and fill it with ducks, and I thought that's a good idea. And then I thought, got some ducks in our bathroom. They glow in the dark ones and things like that. I could make a mold. So yeah, that's another project from my list. What else have we got? Oh, that's a big oven, isn't it? It's Deb, yeah. Ducks. Yes, I was on ducks. My brain works like that. I write lists and then don't look at them. I love writing lists and then not looking at them. And it's because my brain goes off more like, like a scatter diagram, mind map. Yeah, they would make lovely earrings, actually, Deb. I was thinking actually if I could set them in little spheres or something and put the blue in the bottom, or I don't know. I just saw them and wanted them twice apparently. That's why I've got so many. I do want the little frogs as well. There's frogs and glow in the dark ones, and they do the ducks in assorted colours and glow in the dark ducks as well. Timu's just dangerous, isn't it? I need to put these onto something flat, don't I? Oh, I know. Hang on. I'm just thinking these snowflakes will cure wonky, won't they? I tell you, that resin's good. That's meant to be 24-hour, 20-hour cure resin. The comedy bit with the ducks. What, me having you all guess, Rad? Well, I got part into it because I was so excited about the ducks, and I thought I haven't told them what I'm doing. I'll never guess. It's like I'll never. Yeah, I just kept going. Goodness, Deb, that is handy. Oh, Adele, has Adele joined us? Oh, hi, Adele. That's okay. Don't worry. Just glad you could join us. Oh, Patricia, I tell you what, Timo has been a revelation. I know a lot of their stuff is copies. It might not be as good as the real thing, but it's just, if you only want a mold to use like a handful of times, why would you spend a fortune on it? Whereas if you want a mold that you can use over and over and over and over, it's worth spending good money on and getting one that will last. So I've actually found Temu really good. I've been buying lots of bits and pieces for my terrariums. They're a lot cheaper for ordering bits of spider wood and things like that from. So I've been ordering things like that from Temu. And then, yeah, the cheaper molds. I just find it quite useful. And the other thing I've found is that I shouldn't be saying this because I'm supported so much by all these lovely proper craft suppliers, but I'm actually finding the service from Temu good. I had a couple of things come that were a bit rubbish. So I sent them photos and told them so. And they refunded me in less than 5 minutes. Just like that. Well, you can't say fairer than that, can you? So you can't, I still maintain you can't beat kind of the real thing. But when it's something that's just cheap and cheerful you want, why not use Temu? You can hear funny noises. Sorry, I just put my foot on a drawer. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get quality like you would from these handmade resin molds from Into Resin, are you? You're not going to get that from Temu. But if you just want cheap coaster molds, go for it. I've got things popping up all over my screen. Oh, if anybody's interested, Petra Gerbrecht has got a video just released, and apparently I've got a premiere in 30 minutes. Thank you for reminding me, YouTube. Really? Socks and bras and things? Really, Delphine? I didn't think of trying things like, mind you, I'm a funny bra size that nobody stocks. But I didn't think of buying things like that from there. Plastic ants. Oh, yeah. Plastic ants. I've still got a big thing full of plastic spiders, would you believe? I bagged some up and gave them away to kids as an event a bit back, where I still must have, I don't know, a couple of hundred spiders. The other thing I've got an awful lot of is poke balls. Hang on a minute. Let me show you. This is one of the. Oh yes, I'll show you these. These were the prototypes for the doorstop. So there's that one, but I made a bit of a mess of it. But you can see where the idea was going, can't you? It's not very good up close. And then I did one full of poke balls. Anyone know about Pokemon Go? Let's see if I can get this to focus. Oh, on iPhone's good. Anyone play Pokemon Go or anything like that? Or we've got kids that do? Yeah, I'm level 40. Sorry. AliExpress. Yes, AliExpress are pretty good as well. The only thing I find with AliExpress is it's the things take a little bit longer to come. But my two little aquariums, my nano tanks, nano tank 1 and nano tank 2, as I've imaginatively called them, those were from AliExpress. Where are we going? Pokemon Go. Well, yeah, it is good, isn't it, Michelle? I tell you what happened with me. I had major abdominal surgery when I was 49, so that's about 7, 8 years ago. And they said the best way to recover from the surgery was to do a lot of walking. And so I did a lot of walking. Now, I don't think the surgeon quite meant as much of the amount of walking that I actually did. Yeah, it's a student age group thing, really, isn't it? You're right. Yeah, because I found myself like doing 10K or more a day, and just recovering from major surgery. And to be honest, I was a bit out of shape before. And this, and my consultant said that wasn't quite what I meant. I meant like a couple of miles. Granted, the first few days I could only walk about 10 feet. But anyway, I got completely. I'm walking, I'm enjoying the sun. It was in a heat wave. And I thought, what are all these teenagers doing? There was all sort of late teens, early 20s on a few kids, all sitting under a tree in our local park, staring at their phones and doing something. And they're all going like this. Because they were trying to catch Pokemon. The game had been out for a matter of just a few weeks. So I joined in. I then promptly dyed my hair purple, bought myself a hat with the Team Valor logo on it, got myself a bag with Team Valor on it, and started doing laps of the Yarra Valley Lake with this bag full of phone chargers that all the kids kept borrowing of me. But it got me walking. It was brilliant. So I still maintain it's a good game. Hoffle's Creations. No, I haven't, Delphine. I don't know if this will let you share the link in here, but feel free to pop it in the. If you want to pop a link to that channel in the comments below the video, so we can all go have a look later. I'm always on the lookout for nice new channels to look at. Oh, I see, Janet. You have to pay freight for New Zealand. International postage is expensive. It's a real nuisance, isn't it? So many little guys you can catch. Come on, then. What's your favourite Pokemon? You didn't think you'd get that as a subject of conversation, did you? Mine's a Squirtle, for anybody who's interested. And the first one I caught was a Weedle. I was startled to find there was a Rattata in the milk fridge around our local shop the same morning. Oh, nice one, Deb. It took me about 6 months to get anything like normality. Yeah, Squirtles are just so cute. In the game that Jenna and I play, I've got a little Squirtle that follows me around sometimes. It's a bit sad. Has anybody got any more questions? Because I've just been I've got this list of things that I thought, oh, I could tell them about this, I could tell them about that. I was all very excited. Does she, Leslie? I'll tell you what, it's a healthy game. It is. Gets you out walking. Especially if you don't live close enough to a folk stop. Oh, I'll tell you what, I should have topped out the levels by now. At the museum where I work, we've got 2 gyms. Is it 2 gyms? Yeah, 2 gyms and 5 poke stops. I'm just too busy when I'm there. To be fair, they are paying me to work. Not much. Granted, I'm there for the fun and the cars. Oh, Animal Crossing. Nice. I'm playing, what's my dragon one? Dragon Farm Adventures. It sends me to sleep before I go at night. Mark will read his book and I'll feed my dragons and things. Yeah, we got to that age where we sit in bed with a cup of tea and that's what we do. Sad but true. Find a museum, Roy. It's a motor museum. If you want to look it up, it's the British Motor Museum. It's the biggest collection of historic British vehicles in the world by quite a long way. When I was lucky enough to be able to retire really early, I was 52. Mark said, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I did a bit of live online training delivery for a little while. Then we had COVID, and it was kind of, what do I do now? And I've been helping out at the museum for odd event days in the past anyway. But I said to Mark, I'm going to go and mess about at the museum. He said, yeah, give them a ring, see if they'll give you some more shifts. And they did. So I'm there. I've cut back a bit because I'm spending so much time on YouTube now. It's become almost a full-time thing. This us. But I'm there. I'm aiming for sort of 6 or 7 days a week at the moment. It'll be more in the summer because of car shows. They need more manpower. Minis. Lisa B, have a look on my own Facebook. One of my minis is actually in bits still at the moment. It's been a while. The Cabrio, which was the Premier Cup winner, is still on the go. It's in the garage at the moment. But if you have a look on my own Facebook, it's Tracey Lippett.7 for some reason. It must be 7 Tracey Lippetts, don't know. But you'll know it's me because there's pictures of me sat cleaning cars at the museum as well. Yes, it is a dream job. Rad. You know, they say I'm living the dream. I actually am. Crafting for a living and messing about with cars, sort of, for a living. And thank God I could get my pension early. Right, let me try and keep up with these comments. Lots of people seem to love Squirtles. That's good. Yeah, Lisa B, have a look at my page. There's also a page called Charlie Cooper. that's linked off mine. I think it shows it as my son. That's my green Mini. There's the Mini Cabriolet Register, the banner car. That's their Cabrio. It's actually Mark's technically, but it used to be me that showed it when I was competing. And there's also a Facebook page called The Adventures of Dom the Streetcar. That's my little streetcar. And Rocky the Naughty Fiat. That's my Fiat, my daily drives Facebook page. How sad is that? They've all got Facebook pages. Even Fudge has got a Facebook. Really sad. Where are we? Just want to keep an eye on all the comments. I've earned it. Yes, I bloody have. I tell you what, during my time working in the insurance industry, which is more exciting than it sounds because I had nice jobs within it, they paid for me to get 4 degrees and a master's equivalent qualifications. 2 in learning and development. That was one of the masters is in learning and development, and the other 2 were in financial services. 1 general insurance and 1 financial services, in pensions, investments, taxation, and all that sort of thing. And then made me redundant. Go figure. Anyway, end of the world. Bottom fell out of my life, and then I thought, wait a minute, I can get my pension at 55. Old company pension scheme. Woohoo! Oh, a Mini driver in Canada. Hi, Lois. Hello, Mini. What sort of Mini is it, Lois? Is it a modern Mini or an old classic Austin or Rover or something like that? Mine are both Rover Minis from the 90s. Yes, you're right, Deb. Good job you're awake, isn't it? I hope you liked tonight's premiere. Actually, it's a simple one. It's just something. Oh, Clubman 2009. That's a modern Mini, the BMW ones. Yeah, some of my friends work at the factory making those. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're right, Roy. The retirement is amazing. Oh yes, Adele. Are you in the UK? Come to the museum. Listen, if any of you are ever thinking of visiting the museum, my email address is MiniScenesGB@gmail.com. That's also in the about info and in all my video descriptions and things. Drop me a line. I'm there alternate weekends and alternate Fridays usually, but just drop me a line if you're thinking of coming down, because if I'm in, I might be able to organise a little private tour for you. If I'm not, I might pop down anyway. Oh yeah, Northampton isn't that far. Yeah. However, Deb's already off. She's going. Right, I'm also going to head over. Oh, Lester, you're only up the road, Roy. Just drop me a line if you're coming. I think on Sunday, do you know Husky Creations? Is it Husky Creations? Resin lady. She's coming down to the museum for an event on Sunday. I hope to catch up with her. Saturday. It's going to be a really busy event, so I don't know how much chance I'll get to chat because I will be working. But it's nice to bump into people, so do let me know if you're heading down near the museum, because it'd be good to see you. Oh, and if you get to the door and they say, "Would you like an annual ticket instead of a one-day one?" For God's sake, just say yes, because it's the same price, and then you keep coming back as many times as you like. You passed your test in a Lada. I passed mine in a Mark 1 Escort. There you go. Anyway, yes, we better end this stream because I particularly really want to get over to the premiere. So I will see you all over there. Thanks for all being here. I hope this was a bit of fun, and I hope that the sound and the camera and everything else has worked for you, because it's been a bit of a it's still a learning curve for me. So yeah, I don't know what else to say really, other than I will see you over at my premiere back in the chat. Thanks everyone. I'm going to do this sort of monthly, so I don't lose questions again. I tell you what, email them to me, because then I can just pop them into a folder, and then I can make sure I've got them, can't I? And nothing gets lost. So take care then all. I am going to the frog. There'll be more frogs, don't you worry, Lois. Right, see you all over at the premiere chat, those who are coming. The rest of you, I'll see you next time. Bye everyone, thanks for coming.